Hello friends, today we are going to solve a problem which was asked in Putnam 1988. The question asked, prove there exists a unique function which maps from positive real to positive real such that f of x equals to 6x minus fx is positive for all x positive, and obviously it goes from positive real to positive real. That's why. So before starting the solution, please like the video if you like the solution and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. So now let's start the solution. There may be a lot of solutions for this question, but I am going to present a solution which I used recurrence relation to solve this problem. So let's start with my solution of recurrence relation. So first I will make some observation here. Let's substitute x as fx. Then what I am going to get is f of fx equals to 6 times fx minus f of x. Okay. Likewise, if I again substitute x fx, then I will get here 4 times f, here 2 times, here 3 times. Likewise, if I substitute many times, then I will observe something here that is recurring. That means if let's define something now. Let's define that a naught equals to x, a1 equals to fx, and such that ak equals to ak plus 1 equals to f of ak. I am defining like this because I can see a1 is fx, then I will define a2 as f of x or f of a1. So I am defining the recurrence like this. So what this relation will turn out to be ak plus 2. If this is k plus 2, then 6 ak minus ak plus 1. This will be the recurrence relation. I hope you understand till this. This will be the recurrence relation for this functional equation. And now I am going to rewrite it. ak plus 2 plus ak plus 1 minus 6 ak equals to 0. Now we can write the characteristic equation of this functional equation. I am directly writing the characteristic equation, that is x square plus x minus 6 equals to 0. Now let's find out the roots of this characteristic equation. This will turn out to be x plus 3 multiplied by x minus 2 equals to 0. Here I will get x equals to minus 3 and 2 or 2. Now we all know that after getting the roots, we can write that ak equals to some alpha times this raised to the power k plus some beta times another root raised to the power k. In the next step, what I am going to do is I am going to find this alpha and beta in terms of a0, a1 or a2 likewise. So now what I am going to do, let's substitute k equals to 0, then it will turn out to be alpha and this will also be beta. So a0 equals to alpha plus beta. This we call equation number 1. Then I am going to k equals to 1. Then a equals to 2 alpha minus 3 beta. This I am going to say equation number 2. I have two variables alpha and beta and we have two equations, so no need of third equation. We can directly find out the value of alpha and beta from here. So after, likewise, I will multiply the first equation with 3 and solve this. I will get alpha equals to 3a0 plus a1 divided by 5. Similarly, beta equals to 2a0 minus a1 by 5. I am leaving this manipulation over to you. We can easily get by multiplying and dividing the solving equation it. So I am getting alpha is this and beta is this. Okay. Now in the next step, what I am going to do is, let's take a2k, some even number I am taking, then alpha times 2k. I am not writing this term right now, I am just taking alpha there because alpha will be positive and alpha will be positive, that is for sure. Now let's just check out the sign of beta because a0 will be positive and a1 will be positive. So they confirm that alpha is going to be positive, but we have to check due to this negative sign. So I am checking for beta now. a2k equals to alpha times 2k and plus beta times minus 3 raised to power 2k. This will turn out to be alpha times 2k plus, because it is an even number for sure, so I can simply write 3 raised to power 2k. Now let's calculate some limit k tends to infinity a to k. I am evaluating a limit here, and I am going to take out 3 raised to the power 2k common. So I am taking 3 raised to the power 2k common. Then what I am going to get is alpha times 2 by 3 raised to the power 2k plus beta. As the limit is tending to infinity, this must be tending to 0. So I can clearly write by taking some partial limit 3 raised to the power 2k multiplied by beta. Now this is going to be positive. Now the sign of this limit solely depends on the sign of beta. And since a to k is some f of likewise, and fx is positive for all x positive, therefore beta must be positive. Okay, beta must be positive. Now if I substitute a odd number in place of k, likewise a 2k plus 1. First I substituted an even number, now I am substituting an odd number. Then alpha raised to power 2k plus 1 plus beta minus 3 raised to power 2k plus 1. Here I will get alpha into 2 raised to the power 2k plus 1 here minus beta 3 raised to the power 2k plus 1. Since it is an odd number, therefore minus I can take outside. Okay. Now once again let us check the limiting value at infinity a 2k plus 1. I am once again taking 3 raised to the power 2k plus 1 as common, because I am interested in the sign of beta, not alpha, because we already know alpha is positive. So this will alpha multiplied by 2 by 3 raised to the power 2k plus 1 minus beta. Here this will again turn out to be tending to 0. Then I can write minus beta and 3 raised to the power 2k plus 1. Again this quantity must be positive, minus beta must be positive. This implies that beta must be negative. But this too contradicts that it is saying that beta is positive and it is saying beta is negative. So this two contradicts its either of them, that it contradicts this and this contradicts the second one. So from here we can derive, or we can conclude, that beta must be equal to 0 for this to be true, that fx is positive, x is positive, and all those. Beta must be 0. This we can conclude from here. So what I'm going to do is, because it is all the limiting value, so beta can be 0, and we are taking that beta is 0. Now we are going to use this. Beta equals to 0. This implies that 2a0 minus a1 by 5 must be 0. This simply implies that a1 must be equal to 2a0. What was a0, which we had defined x, and what was a1, which we had defined fx. So simply fx equals to 2x for all x belongs to R plus. So this is the only function which is going to satisfy this given functional equation. So thus we have because we have calculated a unique function, or a unique function for this functional equation, hence we are done. We have proved that there exists and that function is fx equals to 2x, which is also a unique and satisfies this functional equation. So this is my solution for this a very good Putnam problem of 1988. I don't know which problem was it, because I have not written here. So this was my solution for this problem. Hope you like the solution. If you like the solution, then leave a like for this video, and thanks for watching.